So you've decided to build a network-attached storage system, and now you're facing decision paralysis between the dozens of options. Not only are there 5 or 6 options for operating systems, but there are dozens and dozens of options for hard drives, solid states, traditional hard drives, wireless, wired connections. There are so many options. You might be facing what I like to call decision paralysis. It's when there's so many options available that you're unable to make a reasonable comparison. So not only will I go over the top options for you to pick, but at the end of this series, we will go through and create a single working network attached storage system, going step by step that you'll be able to follow along and have a working system at the end. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our workstation PC. Preferably you have a desktop, but a laptop will work in a pinch. And we're going to take the operating system and get rid of it. What this is going to do is you're going to lose all the files that you have on the system. And so what I would recommend doing is getting an external hard drive and taking the files that you want to keep and transferring them over. It can be a flash drive or an external hard drive, as long as it has enough space to hold the files that you want it to hold. Now, luckily, if your system is Windows, we can keep that as the system and you won't have to back your stuff up. So Windows is a very good operating system for network attached storage. It's typically fairly full-featured in terms of being able to share with multiple users. One of the main advantages that Windows has that other operating systems don't have is that it's got a wide array of software that's built for it, specifically for sharing files. Not only are you able to open and explore media, but it's also going to be very compatible with other Windows systems. So I would advise that if every computer on your network is also Windows, Windows would be a very good option for your storage system as well. Windows also has very good file encryption, and it's got very good enterprise options for managing multiple users and the types of permissions those users might have. Unraid is an operating system designed specifically for network-attached storage. It offers a lot of powerful features, and it's fairly simple to use because it is only used for network-attached storage systems. It also has a few unique features. It allows you to use scrap hard drives really easily. You can use hard drives that are a bunch of different sizes and combine them together to appear virtually as a single drive, which is a key feature that these other operating systems might not have readily available. It's also fairly lightweight and not very intensive on system resources. Additionally, it allows for user-specific disk usage. So if you have 4K footage that you want to have on a solid-state drive so that it will transfer quicker, and then you have a bunch of old emails that you don't mind having slow access speeds on, so you put that on a legacy hard drive, Unraid will allow you to do things like that, especially drives at varying encryption levels for different security reasons. You can specifically target different security levels and transfer speeds by targeting specific drives. TrueNAS is one of my favorites, mostly because it's open source, meaning that anybody can contribute. It's built as a group project on a website like GitHub, and that means that it's 100% free. There is no pro version. The version that you download has all features. It's based on an operating system called FreeBSD, which is a Unix-based system. It's actually what Mac OS was built on or inspired from, depending on how you look at it. It's got a lot of enterprise-grade features. TrueNAS uses ZFS, which is an advanced file system. It's got a lot of advanced features, and it's able to efficiently store data. It also has a web graphical user interface, meaning that when you have it plugged into your network, you're able to go to a web page on your internet browser, and you're able to browse your TrueNAS storage system as if it were Google Drive. It also has built-in cloud backup capabilities. If you have a secondary NAS offsite, or you want to integrate use with Google Drive, Dropbox, or any other business solution, you can have your network attached solution, your local box, mirrored to an offsite box, also known as the cloud. So there are a few things that I'm going to recommend that you need in order to use a PC as a network attached storage. These things are, I don't consider them optional in order to have regular usability. You might be asking, oh, is my 2015 netbook okay to use as a NAS? Or is my 2021 Alienware PC good to use as a NAS? And so this will help you decide, because I can't go over every machine. I'll just go over a few minimum specifications. One is RAM. RAM is very important for transferring files, and I would recommend a minimum of 4 gigabytes of RAM. Most computers are going to have this if you're still using them. Having multiple PCIe slots is also a good thing. That's a slot that you're going to see on your motherboard, and it's going to look like the slot where your graphics card goes in, and it'll be above it and below it. Having more of these is good because it will allow you to plug in more hard drives. It will also allow you to plug in advanced network interface card, basically to allow you to transfer files faster from those hard drives. Some things that you're not going to need in order to run a network attached storage system, these are things that you can pull out if you have them in a desktop, is you can pull out your graphical processing card, which is probably the most expensive thing on some gaming PCs. You can liquidate that or use it for something else. You're also not going to need a Wi-Fi card or wireless adapter if that is something that you aren't going to be using. For example, you're going to want to wire your connection, and then you can get rid of the wireless card. Now, if you do have more than 4 gigs of RAM, I'm not saying to start pulling sticks out so that you have 4. If you have 8, stay with 8. It's not worth it to pull it out, and unless you really need it somewhere else and can't afford it, it's always better to have a little bit of extra RAM. What I would recommend is setting up your network attached storage. And if you have an issue where you need more storage, you can get a PCIe SATA adapter. That will help improve the amount of drives that you can connect to the computer. If the transfer speed is too low, then the next thing that you can do is try upgrading your local area network card for improving the amount of data that your computer can send over Ethernet. Now, if you've upgraded both of those and you're still having slow transfer speeds, if you're on Windows operating system, you can go to the task manager and look at how quickly the processor is working. And if it's at 100%, that's your bottleneck. If your RAM is at 100%, that's your bottleneck. And if your drives are 100%, that's your bottleneck. So whichever one is at 100% is what you can consider upgrading. Now you'll notice there's actually 2 different types of drives. You have 3.5-inch drives and 5.25-inch drives. Those haven't been used in quite a while. You want an adapter so that you can go from 5.25 inches to 3.5 inches, just so that you're able to hold them and stop them from shaking and stuff like that. You want to secure your drives. You don't want to have them just like stacked on top of each other with nothing in between. They're racked up for a reason. A lot of the older drives will have spinning plates in them, and shaking them while they move will cause the plates to also shake internally, and it can do a lot of damage. So if you've gone all the way through this video and you're still feeling some decision paralysis, you're not sure which direction to take, feel free to book a consultation with me at techdev.com. Specifically go to the business and IT options page, and you'll be able to actually book a Google Chat video chat with me, and we can go over some options for your business and ways that we can help you out.